Every single thing that you do in calisthenics comes down to one single concept. And today we're gonna break it down. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. If you understand this, the whole way that you train, how you view the game, how you progress, how you recover, it's all gonna change. So let's get into it. Also, I know this is a new style of content, but I'm trying something. I've learned through all of my years of training that it's not just the training that makes you better. It's also understanding the principles behind training. Geeking out on the sport, talking about it, that's how you get better. And as simply as I can put it, it comes down to one thing. Stress and adaptation. It's basically what makes us human. The body's incredible ability to adapt to stress. It's also what moves the markets. It's supply and demand, basically, right? So the demand is the stress and the supply is the adaptation. Any stress that you put on your body, strategically, regularly, frequently, your body will find a way to adapt to it. And that's essentially what we're doing every time we learn a skill. Let's take a full planche, for example. It's a goal for a lot of people. A person being able to do a full planche basically means that their body can handle that stress. They've applied stress to their body in the right ways over the right amount of time and allowed their body to adapt to that stress so that they could produce that skill. Are you following me? Like, once you understand this concept, you understand that when you're going to train, all you are doing is finding different ways to apply the right stress on your body so that it can give you what you want it to give you, which is all these new skills. Whether it's a completely new stress, like learning a planche from scratch from the beginning, or like maybe you've got like one full planche push-up and now you're stressing your body to try to get the reps up. It's a different kind of stress, but essentially that's all that you're doing. You're finding different ways to apply stress to the system so that the system could adapt to that, and then you're gonna apply more stress. So that brings up two really important concepts. Time under tension, which essentially is stress, and then progressive overload is kind of like the application of that stress over time once you've gone through the adaptation. So the adaptation is like the most important part, because if you just go stress and you don't adapt, that's how you end up injured. And I'm sure we're going to talk about that in a different video. I think I'm going to make a whole video about how to avoid injuries and how injuries actually happen. That said, once you understand this concept, everything changes. Think about it like this, okay? Whatever your level is today, whether it's a straddle planche, front lever, whether you have sat, whether you're one of the best in the world or not, when you started, you didn't have these things. Your body could not produce this skill, i.e. your body had not adapted to that stress. It couldn't handle that stress. But over time, you built your capacity to be able to do it. Now, if you don't really understand this concept, it's almost like luck. Like for me, for example, I think like how I learned my first skills, I didn't really know, okay, like apply stress, let the adaptation happen. Apply stress, let the adaptation happen. Progressively overload over time. I didn't fully understand these concepts. So to a certain extent, like I got pretty lucky, but to another extent, I also fucked up a lot and I ended up injured. But once this clicked for me, this whole thing, it became a lot easier to learn skills because you're conscious of what you're doing. You're like, okay, I'm coming in, I'm applying stress in these areas, and then they're gonna have to adapt. All I'm saying to you is this is what I want you to do. When you leave this video, whether you're gonna train today, train tomorrow, or train the next day, I want you to focus on this concept of stress and adaptation throughout your week. When you go to the gym, don't just do mindless attempts. Think. You don't have to change your workout or anything, but just think of the ways that you were applying stress towards a certain goal, and then think of letting the body adapt. If you've applied a lot of stress, you did a lot of volume, a lot of intensity in a certain session, then maybe you need a day off, maybe you need to allow that adaptation to happen over a longer period of time. If you've had like a short sesh where you hit like a good amount of sets, but you feel like you're not completely cooked, then you can come back the next day because you'll probably adapt a little bit overnight and be able to stress yourself again the next day. So once you have these things in your mind, the most beautiful part of it all is over time, you'll be able to start gathering data. You'll be able to like start stressing your body in different ways, finding creative ways to like do things, and then seeing how that affects you the day after and the day after, and all that data that you collect by running these like mini experiments on yourself basically becomes your training intuition, which is like the most important thing. It's the reason why like you see all these athletes that you look up to, from, I'm not gonna name names, but like the best athletes in the world, and you see that they don't necessarily like sit and like have like all their programs written down and stuff. They just kind of know what they have to do for their goals. So I'm gonna say it again. When you leave this video, just keep in mind this concept of stress and adaptation. Take it with you into training this week, and see how like if you're able to look at the game a little bit differently, if you're able to understand this concept a little more. If anything came up in this conversation that you want to talk about, there's any topics that are important to you, drop them in the comment section below. I would love to do more videos like this. I feel like I could talk about calisthenics forever and ever, and every time I talk to my clients, they tell me the same thing. They're like, bro, we could listen to you talk about calisthenics for a long time. So I will be answering the most liked questions and topics in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, let me know, because I really enjoyed making it, and I will see you next time.